We are here to talk about a fight that was due to take place in August between Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, reportedly collapsing. And the big question is, why is that? Dillian Whyte joins us live on the show. Dillian, always good to have you on board. Good afternoon. What's happened to the fight?
Oh, the fight just collapsed. It's just collapsed. There's been no communication in the fight, obviously. And it's just weird. It just never seemed real from the start, you know. We know AJ's in a position of transition, and they don't want him to have dangerous fights, but they want to keep his name good and make it look like he's trying to have big fights, you know.
So Dillian, our understanding was that AJ was looking for that fight on August the 12th. Your name was the front runner. Now, from our understanding, there was money that was offered to your team. I don't know what that money was. Your team had refused that. Then there was a counter offer come back from Matchroom. You said let's talk about it, and you've not heard from them since. I mean, can you sort of clarify what it was?
Let me just clear that up. There was no offer, no counter offer came from Matchroom. Eddie and even said it himself. That's garbage. You said in an interview, you said that's garbage. I never asked for that money. But anyway, we've had one three-line email about the fight. No conversation at all. We've been trying to contact Eddie for 1 month. Multiple phone calls and email. They just gone missing. I don't know. It's strange. And also, we've responded to the offer, asking them a few normal business questions like, why is the fight in the middle of the holiday season? Why is the fight in the middle of the holiday season when most of the UK goes on holiday around that time of year? And also, why is the fight at the O2? It should be a stadium fight. It should be a stadium fight at Wembley or Tottenham or something like this. This is a normal business question. I'm one of the biggest boxers around today. So these are just normal business questions you ask for these kind of big fights. You know what I mean? There's no terms and conditions because normally I've been negotiating with Eddie for years. I know this thing go. I know he negotiate. You know, I know that his first offer is never his final offer. It's just you throw a bait out there and after okay, there's interest, and then you finalize the terms and you get the fight on. I've been with Matchroom for years. This should be the easiest fight to me.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, from my understanding, the Skills Challenge are flying over next week to seal a deal with Anthony Joshua boxing out in Saudi against Deontay Wilder. You was the proposed warm-up fight there in August. I think that's why they was looking at the date in August to set him up for that fight, and that's where they were pretty much at with that. Do you feel that they feel now that is too high a risk with what's on the table out in Saudi Arabia?
Well, you're closer to AJ than I am, mate. So you know that's a question that you should honestly be able to answer, Spencer. Listen, I'm no warm-up fight for no one. I give anyone hell in the night, and I've given hell in the night before. And one advantage I have over anyone that fight AJ is I'm able to get in his head mentally. I'm able to offset him. I'm able to throw his rhythm off. I'm able to drag him into a scrap because we have the energy, we have the history. You understand? So just that alone made me a massive danger for him. And of course, they don't want to risk the Wilder fight. If he looks bad, say for instance, he looks bad, I'll beat him, or knock him down, or knock him up because I'm capable of all of these things. You understand? And I believe I can beat him this time around because I'm looking to go in there and press him. I'm not looking. Last time I was the Jonathan Banks went in there, we had to box, and no, I'm looking to go and press him. I've already said.
But Dillian, in the food chain, whether you like it or not, the characterization of it, you are a warm-up fight for Anthony Joshua because the bigger picture, whether you like it or you don't like it, is the idea that they're going to try and make Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. They're going to try and make Fury against Usyk. But let's go back to this particular situation where the opportunity is yours to be able to disrupt that party. My understanding of the situation, and I want you to confirm or correct, is that you were asking for about 8 million quid for this fight. Am I right in that?
No, you're completely wrong in that. We haven't got into the we haven't got that far into the fight yet to even talk about money. This one offer that came in, and we looked at it. Listen, if anyone to fight AJ, why would I be in Florida in training camp training to fight AJ? It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I'm in Florida now as I speak, in training camp with Buddy, training to fight AJ.
Did you feel that fight was always on then? Did you feel that, even though you hadn't had that offer, that fight was always on the table? August the 12th was the date.
I've never felt the fight was real because the way like I said, I've been negotiating with Eddie for years. I know when Eddie wants a fight. I know when Eddie's interested in a fight. When Eddie wants a fight, he calls you, he bugs you. Let's get it on. What can we do? Where's the number? What can we get the fight on? Let's make the fight happen. What are we doing?
Would you
We've had one email and we haven't spoken to Eddie in 1 month.
But but am I right though, Dylan? They have made you an offer. There is an offer in principle, isn't there?
Of course, they made an offer. I never denied it. I said
what they offered you, Dillian?
Well, I can't go into figures. I don't know why I can't go into figures.
Well, would you accept that offer, Dillian? Like as it stands at the moment, is that something that you would accept?
Yeah, 100%. Of course I would. I want to fight AJ and beat him 100%. You know.
So the offer that's put on the table right now that they sent to you, which they haven't replied further correspondence, you would accept that offer, yeah?
I just answered that 2 seconds ago.
I mean, obviously, Dillian, it's a difficult situation for you because you want the best deal that you can get and you want to be able to achieve the best outcome because you're a prize fighter. But I'm kind of half aware of what this offer may be, right? So if we're suggesting, right, that you might be prepared, you might want to get a little bit more out of it, you might want to do some fiddling around the sides to get some extra money out of pay-per-view if the buys get bigger and so on and so forth. But are we at a stage in this conversation, because you're obviously in this discussion with us for a reason, are we at a stage where, yeah, I'll take that offer. So what happens now? And that must mean if they don't come back to you, that Anthony Joshua or Eddie Hearn don't really want that fight. And that's what you're really saying by being here today, aren't you?
That's exactly what I'm saying, because Eddie could have come back. Obviously, it's a big fight. Whenever there's a deal, we always say to Eddie, listen, juggle the numbers around, see what we can do, see how we can achieve a better figure.
A better outcome for you, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Of course, it's a business. I'm not going to go in there and say, Spencer Oliver can tell you it's a dangerous business. It's a professional. You can see what happens to him. You understand? So you're going to try and get every fight can be a lost fight. You're going to try and get the best out of it you can. And obviously, they're going to want rematch clause and this and the other. We haven't spoken about any of these things. Eddie's just disappeared.
Because for you, I mean, I would have said to you, if you said to me, no, I'm not taking their offer, right, which is not what you're saying, right? You want to get the best deal, which is fair, right? But I would say to you, and I think you understand this, that this is a massive opportunity, because if you go and deal with Joshua, right, you open the door to a big bag of money in Saudi, don't you?
Yeah, that's all. I beat Joshua. I get to fight Wilder, and I've always wanted to fight Wilder. So for me, it's getting the chance to clutch at 2 eggs at the same time.
So let me ask you then, as a fighter, right? You must look at this, because the narrative's been built up, Dillian, that Anthony Joshua needs to get himself back in the groove. He needs to find his fire again and prepare for Deontay Wilder. Mm-hmm. Do you believe, because I'm beginning to believe with no malice in this, that that's not the case at all, that all they want to do is get to the money shot in Saudi and accept whatever happens in that fight? They're only going to get paid grown-up big super dough by fighting Deontay Wilder in Saudi. Is your mindset beginning to think that's the only real objective they've got?
There's 3 things here. This is how I see. 1, the money. It's always about money. The money, the big carrot is there
for
already.
Everybody, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The big carrot's there already and it's already secure. 2, Joshua is with Derek James or whatever the guy's name is.
His trainer, yeah. His trainer, yeah.
Yeah. He haven't looked good in the last fight. We both fought the same guy. I pressure Franklin. I almost knocked Franklin out in the later stage of the fight. He haven't looked the best. Why would they go and fight someone?
Neither of you were great, though, Dillian. Let's be honest. Neither of you were great in their fights.
That's my opinion, He's working on things. They're not happy where he is because Derek James is an aggressive counterpuncher. He's fought that way, and that's what his fighters are. Joshua wasn't fighting like that. I was there. He was asking Joshua to do things that Joshua wasn't doing. You understand? So why would they go from a fight like Franklin with someone like me that can get in his head and mess him about, and that can obviously have a scrap with him and potentially knock him out? No, they want to get my fight. They want to use my name as scapegoat to say, we tried to fight Dillian Whyte, but we couldn't make it. If he wanted to fight me, Eddie could have made the fight. This fight is so easy. Eddie could have said, I've always done business with Eddie on good terms. So if it makes sense what he's saying, I'll say, yeah, let's go.
So Dillian, if I can jump in here, where we're at is this. There was a proposed fight between yourself and Joshua in August. You agreed to it. You agreed to the terms. It's now collapsed. You don't know why, and you haven't heard from Eddie Hearn.
We haven't heard from him at all, We haven't heard from him at all, nothing regarding the fight. And these fights, like I said, they take time to make. There's lots of little things that needs to agree and rematches and this and that and that, But I just want to fight. I've never turned a fight. I never refused a fight. I just want to fight.
Do you feel disrespected by Eddie Hearn?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. You know, of course I do. Don't, why are you throwing my name around and doing 1 million interview about fighting me? We didn't actually negotiate the fight. Why are you talking to people about, oh, we negotiated the fight, Dillian Whyte turned the fight down, and then they spin the narrative that asks for 10 million and 8 million. That's a load of crap.
Will you reach out to Joshua directly?
Joshua's a punk, man. There's no point reaching out to him. He's a punk. You know, he's a punk. You know, there's no point reaching out to him.
And what about if Eddie comes back to you in the next couple of days? Is that still a possibility that fight could happen on August the 12th?
I've already said that. I'm in Florida training for the fight regardless because
so the date's still good.
I could not train. You understand? I have to think, okay, I have to train in case it happens. In case, you understand? And that's all. I'm in Florida. I'm not in my house. I'm not relaxing on the beach somewhere. No.
Dillian, do you have a contractual relationship with Eddie? Is he your promoter by definition?
Me and Eddie's always work of loyalty and obviously committing to each other. There's never been any paper written or signed.
But you have an underlying relationship, yeah?
Yeah, of course. We have an underlying relationship. I've been spending most of my career. Are you
disappointed then, Dillian, that it seems to be a period of time where you've been marginalised? There was a period of time where you weren't getting opportunities to fight for world titles, and now you're in a situation where the same promoter that's supposed to be looking after your best interests seems to be using you as a stooge.
Yeah, listen, you know me, I like to disagree with you, but I can't disagree with you on this point. You know? It's the same. Since I fought Franklin, I haven't had one offer, apart from the AJ fight, to fight again since. That was November. What month are we in now? I said to him after Franklin fight, I want to fight early next year. I'll fight 3 times this year. At the rate it's going, I'll be lucky if I fight 1 time this year.
Okay, Dillian, just before you go, I mean, I've sent a message to Eddie Hearn just saying that you're on with his live, and if he wants to join us, he can. Haven't heard back from him. I know producer Luke has tried to make contact with Hearn. If you've got a message for Eddie Hearn this lunchtime, what would that be?
Stop trying to throw me under the bus. And I mean, you know what I'm like. You know that I've been trying to fight AJ for 8 years.
Right, now, Dillian, I'll ask you again, and this time, no expletives, okay? You keep it clean. What's your message?
Stop messing about. You know I want to fight. You know I've been trying to fight AJ for 8 years, and you know now is with what's at stake. I'll fight AJ. Listen, I'll fight AJ. Winner takes all. If they want winner takes all, I'll fight winner takes all. If I lose, they don't have to pay me anything. If he wins, he can take it all. If I win, I take it all. How about that?
You can't say fairer than that. Dillian, thanks so much for joining us from Florida. We're counting to 10 to 1.